welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming an all about my hair extensions video. This has been a long time coming, but I'm finally sitting down and I'm going to answer every single possible question you could have about extensions, because ever since I got them back in, what was it, September or October? I think it was September. I have gotten tons of questions about how much do they cost, how do you style them, like all the questions. So I have them all written down on my phone and we are going to go through every single question. And if for some reason your question is not answered, please leave it in the comments down below and I will be sure to answer it. Obviously, I can only attest to the extensions that I personally have, but I have had them for a couple months now and I have a pretty good idea about how to take care of them and how to maintain them and all that. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the video because this is probably going to be a long one. Like I say in every video, grab yourself a coffee and let's get started. And by the way, I will have every question like written down below, like in the order that I'm going through them. And I'll also include little timestamps next to them. That way, if you're looking for an answer to a particular question, you can just reference the description box and go to that specific time in the video. So hopefully that makes it a little bit easier for you guys in case you guys didn't want to watch the entire probably 30-minute long video because there's a lot of questions. But number one, what are tape-in extensions and how are they applied? So tape-in extensions are, it's a semi-permanent extension. It's semi-permanent meaning that you'll get them installed and they'll stay in your hair for a certain amount of time, say like 6 to 8 weeks, and then you get them taken out and you get them reinstalled. Unlike clip-in extensions, which those are not permanent at all, and so those would be like a temporary, and that you put those in every single day, take them out every single day. Tape-in extensions are just a little bit more permanent, but they're not fully permanent, so hence the semi part. So what tape-in extensions look like is this right here. So I'm actually holding like 2 separate wefts. Tape-in extensions are just what you think. They have a tape right here, right at the top where all the hair is connected, and this is a pretty thin weft. They call these like wefts of hair. And so you have this weft of hair and then you have another weft, and your hair, like your natural hair, is going to be sandwiched between the two and then it's going to be applied in your hair. So because these wefts literally and these tapes are so thin, like that's a side view of it, it lays super flat to your head and it's super lightweight as well because you don't have the weight of the clip. So like I mentioned, and I'll put footage in here as well of them getting installed on my head, but basically you just have 2 wefts of hair and your natural hair goes in between them. They get sandwiched between them and that's what you have for the extension. So these 2 are extensions that I currently have in my hair, but we just didn't use them the last time I went in to get them reinstalled. So I thought it would be perfect because I actually had some to like show you. But that is how tape-ins work. And I actually do have them in my hair right now, obviously, so I can show you what a weft looks like. Mind you, I am due for an appointment to get them moved back up again because they're very grown out, but I'm actually going on Tuesday to get them redone. But I did want to show you. So this is the tape in my hair right now, as you can see, and they're super flexible, like you can move them up and down, but you can probably tell how grown out they are. So I need to get them moved back up. But if I were to just touch like my head on the outside, like just going like this, I cannot feel the tapes at all. They lay so flat, they are so comfortable, like I don't feel them pulling ever. I don't feel like super heaviness because this is a lot of hair and I'll go into that later, but I have a lot of hair extensions, so, or a lot of hair, so it was super important that I didn't feel like I had a lot of weight on my head because that could also lead to having headaches. So that is what they are and how they are applied. Again, there'll be footage. Also, tape-in extensions are great for those of you that have fine or thin hair, because in the past I did have clip-in extensions and tried those for a little bit, and I found them extremely hard to blend. Like because my hair is so fine, and as you can see, it's flat. Like I don't have any product in it today, so because I really wanted you guys to see, but it is so flat that trying to hide and blend the clips was like near impossible, you guys. So I love these extensions, like the tape-in extensions, because you cannot see them like at all. So great for those of you that have fine or thin hair and just have tried clip-ins or just really want something that looks really natural. Tape-ins is a great way to go. All right, so the second question is, are they comfortable? So I kind of already answered this, but yes, yes, yes. I will say though, the very first, I think it was like around a week, maybe like a couple days after getting them installed the first time, like the very first time I ever had them installed, it did take some getting used to. They were a little bit sore, nothing crazy, like nothing super painful, like I didn't have to take medication or anything, you know what I mean? It was not that bad, but it definitely was something new. It's kind of like when you get fake nails put on, your nails can kind of get sore. It's the same thing. My head just was not used to having something taped onto it, so it did take some getting used to. And also because I touch my hair all the time, I'm running my fingers through it. It's just a bad habit of mine. So the fact that I couldn't like run my fingers through it the same way that I used to, that was definitely like a learning curve. I had to kind of learn like how I can run my fingers through my hair, if that makes sense. And also sleeping. I'll go into this in later detail, but just sleeping on them, it was kind of difficult at first because it was a little bit sore, but I also like, I don't know what I did, but the tape like flipped one night and it was like, oh, like it's weird, but at the same time, it's just something to get used to. And now I don't have any problem whatsoever. Every time I go and get them reinstalled, I never have any issues. So I think it was just a matter of getting used to having hair on your head that you're not used to having. Okay, the third question is, are they easy to blend? Can you get them if you have short hair? So yes, obviously they are very easy to blend. I would say this is one of the most like natural looking extensions. I actually had a couple family members of mine when I first got my hair done that they couldn't even tell that this was fake hair because it looked so natural, and it still does, and I've had it for quite a while. So that just kind of goes to show like it truly looks like my own hair, which I'm so thankful for. Now for those of you that have short hair and want to get extensions, obviously I can't really give you much information on that because my natural hair, let's see if I can find my natural, these pieces right here, that is my natural hair. So I had pretty long hair to begin with, long as in like this length, I would say. So I can't really attest to someone who had like short hair, but I truly believe that if they are installed correctly and blended correctly and they're placed correctly, they will look natural. I have seen like pictures like before and afters on Pinterest of people who have like pixie haircuts or like bob haircuts, and it looks phenomenal. So I just think it depends on who you go to, the type of hair and all that. I definitely think it's doable, but I can't speak for that because I didn't start with short hair. So, but my hair is fine, and it definitely made the blending process way easier because of my fine hair. But even those of you with thick hair, you can still blend them. It might just take more packs of hair to blend, but you can still achieve the same result. Question number 4 is, can you wear your hair in a ponytail? Yes. This was a huge thing that I needed to be able to do because I work out, I work at the hospital, and we're supposed to have our hair like off our shoulders. So yes, and I can actually show you. Obviously, low ponytails are very easy to do. I just literally grabbed all of my hair and it was like super easy to do that. I can wear it at like a half ponytail like this, and then I can also do a full like on top of my head ponytail like up here. I can also do that as well, and I truly think it's because of how my stylist Hillary, shout out to Hillary, how she places them, because you want to make sure that the tapes have the flexibility and the movement. So for example, I have a tape-in right here and it's kind of like on a slant, if you guys can see that. So when I go to put my hair up, it's like that, and it still is laying flat against my head. And that is huge. So that's just kind of one little like example of having good placement. So that way when I go to put my hair up, we don't have tapes sticking out in every which direction, like they're laying flat against my head. Now I will say, if my hair is dirty, it is a little bit harder to hide those tapes, but I am like conscious of that. I'll just kind of like move my hair and like kind of strategically put it on top of the tapes to kind of help blend them. But that's really only when I have dirty hair and my hair is like separating because it's greasy. So, and that's probably like too much information, but just so you are aware, it is so easy to put your hair in a ponytail. Any ponytail, high, middle, low, it works. Also, to kind of go off that, when I have my hair in like a high ponytail, for example, it does not hurt. I know sometimes people are kind of like weary of that because they think it's going to be pulling on the extensions, but if they are done right and they're placed right, there will be no pulling, it won't hurt or anything like that. So I mean, if I could not wear my hair up in a high ponytail, they would be a definite no for me, but I can, so thank goodness. Question number 5 is, do they damage your hair? So my answer to this is, literally anything can damage your hair. Straightening your hair, curling your hair, blow drying your hair, any heat that you're applying to your hair. If you're not brushing it from like the bottom up and you're just like pulling on your hair, that can damage your hair. So there's literally so many things that can damage your hair. I will say that with tape-ins, if they are not installed correctly or if they are not removed correctly, they will damage your hair. But at the end of the day, if you just use common sense and you take care of them and you're gentle, you're not going to have any issues and it's not going to damage your hair. I can't attest for this yet, but I have heard that people have said that their hair has actually grown and become healthier because their natural hair is sandwiched between two wefts, so it kind of like acts as like a little protectant. So like when they're applying heat, it's not going directly onto their natural hair. I've only had these in since September, so I don't really know if they've helped with like hair growth, but I don't foresee me taking these out anytime soon, so eventually I'll be able to answer that question. But overall, anything can damage your hair if you're not careful. Okay, question number 6 is, how long do they last and how often do you need to get them moved up? So how long the extensions will last will really depend on the brand and the quality of hair that you end up purchasing. I will go into later detail about like my personal extensions that I have in my head, but typically you need to get them moved up like every 5 to 8 weeks. It really depends on how fast your hair grows and what's recommended by your stylist. So for me, I go anywhere between 7 to 8 weeks and I'll get them taken out and moved back up, because at that point, like right now, they are a little bit harder to blend because they stick out, because they're not flat against my head, because they've kind of grown out a little bit because they're taped. So it moves and it grows with your hair, and so that's why you have to get them taken out and reinstalled, so they're a little bit lower than they normally would sit. So I am usually every 7 to 8 weeks. Some people can only go 5 weeks. It really depends on the person. And as far as how long the extensions will last, it really depends, like I said, on the quality of the hair. My personal hair extensions that I have and I purchased, they say anywhere from 9 to 12 months. So it kind of depends on the hair that you buy. And I mean, I think we all know this, but you get what you pay for. So if you don't invest in like good quality hair, don't expect them to last very long. I think that's kind of just a given. Obviously, if you want to go with the cheaper option because you want to just wear them for a week or an event or a vacation and you just plan on taking them out and not like reinstalling them, then I would probably go with the cheaper hair. But if you want to continuously wear them and reinstall them and everything, then I would go with salon quality, good quality hair, because at the end of the day, that is going to be a better investment than just continuously purchasing cheap hair over and over and over. So that makes sense. Question number 7 is, how do you remove them? So I would highly recommend going to a professional that knows what they're doing, they're experienced, they're trained with like your type of extensions, specifically tape-in extensions, because they make specific sprays for extension removal. So they just spray this spray and it basically breaks down the adhesive so that the extensions just slide right out. I obviously would not recommend doing this yourself. It kind of goes with everything with extensions. I wouldn't trust myself to put them in, so I'd much rather go to a professional that knows what they're doing, knows the right placement, has expertise in that area. So that's just my opinion though, but there is specific spray that you can purchase. I wouldn't recommend it, but that just basically breaks down the adhesive so that they come out much easier. Question number 8 is, how do you reapply them / move them up? So once they are removed out of your hair, you'll have like the wefts like this. All you'll do is you'll take off like the old tape, you'll apply new tape, and then you just reinstall them. It's super easy and quick. Well, I wouldn't say quick. I back up. Let me backtrack. It's not quick. It's not a quick process, but it's fairly simple to do. At least when I've watched my stylist Hillary do it, it looks pretty simple. But yeah, you just apply new tape and install them back into the head. And then question number 9 is kind of a hefty one, but this is, how much do they cost? It is so hard to say an exact amount. I will not be able to in this video. I can tell you how much mine personally cost, but it depends on if you have salon quality or if you buy them like offline. Like it really varies, but there's a lot of factors that go into how much it will cost. So for example, how much hair do you need / want? So how many packs will you need? What length you're gonna want your hair? Are you gonna want your hair shorter or do you want it longer? That's gonna vary on how much it costs. Sometimes the color of the hair also determines how much they cost. Obviously the quality. So there's a lot of different factors, and like the brand of the hair. So there's a lot of things that go into the cost of the extensions. But just to give you an idea, I do use the Jay-Z Styles extensions. She has an Instagram, and that's how I kind of discovered her. And then she has a website as well, and she actually like does classes and teaches, and that's how my stylist learned how to put my extensions in. Just overall, it's definitely a very good brand, and if you're gonna go with tape-in extensions or any extensions, I highly recommend Jay-Z Styles because they have been such a great experience. But I have the tape-in extensions, like I said, which there are 20 pieces. So these are pieces. So this is just one piece. So there's 20 of these in one pack of hair. Overall, there will be 10 little wefts of hair per pack. And I have 2 packs in my head right now. So that would be 40 pieces of hair. And I have the 22-inch length extensions, so that's the longest option that they offer. They do offer a 16-inch, but I decided to go with long because I just wanted long, luscious locks. And the weight of one pack of hair is 50 grams, with each piece weighing 2.5 grams. So this weighs 2.5. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much hair I have on my head right now. 40 pieces sounds like a lot, but you know, it works. It works for me. So, and these extensions specifically are intended to last 9 to 12 months, like I've already mentioned. So it's definitely a much longer time span than, you know, like a cheaper alternative. So on the website, they actually recommend using 2 to 4 packs for a full head of hair. You can use 1 pack for just adding volume, but if you want to add volume and length, then they say to do 2 to 4 packs. So for my head, I have, like I said, I have 2. My stylist, she actually said there's no more room left on my head to apply more. So I didn't realize this, but the size of your head also plays into how many packs of hair you need. So I didn't even realize that, but she said you could not do more than 2 packs because my head just doesn't have the surface area for it. Obviously your stylist will know what's best, but I thought that was kind of funny. So to get into the actual cost of what my extensions, the ones I currently have in my hair, are, they are again the 22 inches and they cost $170 per pack. And obviously the installation process price is going to vary depending on your salon and your stylist, as well as the removal and the reinstallation. So I'm not even going to give you guys like a rough estimate of how much that's going to cost. Obviously I know how much it costs for me, but I'm going to kind of let you guys take that into like your own hands and kind of figure that out yourself. You can call around, you can ask different stylists and get different prices and different quotes, but for the hair it costs $170 per pack, and again I have 2 packs. So question number 10 is, how many times can you reapply them? So obviously, like I've said over and over, it depends on the quality of the hair. So for example, this is supposed to last like 10 to 12 months. So there's what, 52 weeks in a year. So if you get them reinstalled and moved up every 8 weeks, it's roughly like 6 times that you can reapply them. Most salon quality hair, they say you can reapply them at least 3 times. So I obviously haven't gotten to the year mark, so I don't know how long. I think this is going to be my 3rd time getting them reinstalled. So obviously as time goes on, I'll be able to give you a better idea of how long these ones last, but I'm hoping to have them last until September and get the whole year's use out of them. But it really does come down to how well you take care of them and just how you treat them, really and truly. This is going to be such a long video. Number 11 is, what is your hair care routine and what products are best to use with your extensions? So first things first, you want to use a sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner. I have been testing out Function of Beauty I think since November, and so far I love them. And if you don't know what Function of Beauty is, it's basically a tailored shampoo and conditioner for your hair needs. And I loved obviously that it was sulfate free, because I can't have sulfate in my products, in my hair products, because it will degrade the extensions. So I decided to give this a try because I've wanted to try it for a long time now. And I'll just read you off what my like hair goals were, because you'll take a quiz and it will ask you like what you want your hair goals to be, what's the profile of your hair, and what do you want any fragrance in it, and you customize your own shampoo and conditioner to meet your needs, which I absolutely love. So my personal hair goals were anti-frizz, color protection, because obviously my hair is colored and these are colored extensions, oil control to replenish my hair, and shine. And I truly think this shampoo and conditioner does just that. And I've actually found that, I don't know if it's because of the oil control property, but I can go 1 week between washes, which is unheard of, you guys. I used to have to wash my hair every single day because it would get so oily so fast, and then I got to the point where I could do like twice a week. But now with using this shampoo and conditioner and having extensions that obviously don't have to be washed, I only wash my hair once a week, which thank goodness, because the whole washing and drying process with these extensions is quite extensive. So only having to do it once a week has honestly been the best thing ever, and I think it has to do with the shampoo and conditioner. So I would check out Function of Beauty if you kind of want to like personalize your shampoo and conditioner, because I think this is just an awesome company. So that was a little like side thing, but using a sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner is key. So when you are shampooing your hair and putting conditioner in, it is super important that you are only putting conditioner from about, I would say, like your chin on down. You do not want the conditioner on the tapes at all, because that could cause slippage and that could cause your extensions to come out, which obviously you don't want that. So I mean, I've always done this because I have fine, thin hair. I've never brought my conditioner up to like my root, but I just basically take it in a ponytail and I just apply it just to the ends, and then I rinse it out. And then the second biggest thing I would say for like my routine and keeping these super nice would be to use a hair oil every single day. The hair oil that I use is from Aveda, and it is the Light Elements Smoothing Fluid Lotion. It's a weightless shine for all hair types. I've been using this for I don't even know how long, so many years, It is amazing. I use this on damp and dry hair, and it works phenomenally. With extensions, the thing is, your extensions are not like directly attached to your root. So the natural oils that your natural hair is getting, the tape-ins are not, or the extensions are not getting those oils. So it's so important to add moisture and oil back into your hair. So I use this oil every single day in the morning when I'm getting ready. I'll apply oil, and on the days that I wash my hair, I section my hair off and I apply 1 pump to each section and blow dry. And that's what I did today, because today was a hair wash day. So it just leaves your hair with the most incredible amount of shine, and it's not frizzy, and it's so soft to the touch, obviously because I keep touching it. I would say using a hair oil and keeping your hair moisturized is key, because if you let it dry out, it's gonna get damaged so much faster. Number 12, how do I shampoo them? Like, how do you wash your hair? So basically, this took me a little bit of time to kind of like get used to. All I do is I take my fingers and you basically go between the wefts, and so I take like a little bit of shampoo, put it between my fingers, and then I just kind of go between the layers and go like this all the way around my head to make sure that I am shampooing the root. Because if you are not shampooing everywhere and you're just applying shampoo to like the top of your head, you aren't gonna get the grease out. You're not gonna get like a fresh, clean shampoo. So it's super important that you just kind of, I can turn around and show you maybe a little bit better. This is so hard to do, but I basically stand in the shower and I just kind of go like this, and then down here at the bottom. So I take my fingers like this and go between the wefts. It's really hard to like show you, and I'm obviously not gonna film myself in the shower, so that's the best you're gonna get. But you're basically just getting your fingers between each layer of hair and massaging shampoo in that area. It sounds super complicated and like a long process, but it's not. It's so easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's so easy to do. Okay, number 13, how often do you wash them? I've said this before, I wash them once a week. Obviously, the more you wash them, the more they'll damage your hair. So I've tried from the beginning to make it a thing to only wash my hair once a week, and I use dry shampoo in between washes when needed. I have actually found that because extensions, like I said, are not directly attached to your scalp, they don't get greasy and oily because they just don't have that oil. What gets greasy and oily is the top part of your head and like your natural scalp. So I use dry shampoo, but I'm very careful about where I'm putting my dry shampoo, because you do not want to put it right on top of the tapes, because that could cause them to break down over time. So I am very conscious of I basically just section my hair like this, and then I'll spray, because I have tapes like right here, so I don't go any further down. And I'll kind of go like underneath, because I work out, I sweat, that's where I get sweaty, so you know. And I just apply it to like the crown of my head, where I also get super greasy super fast because I'm laying on it at night when I'm sleeping. So as long as you're being cognizant of where you're putting the dry shampoo, it is perfectly fine to do that. But that also has extended the time between my washes, along with this amazing shampoo and conditioner. So that's a little tip. And also, I will not wear my hair up in like a high ponytail towards the end of my washing, like right before I need to wash it again, because it's very hard to get dry shampoo like down in these areas. So this will look extremely oily. So when you're putting your hair up, that whole area is exposed. So I tend to not wear my hair up when it gets to that point. But like today, it would be perfectly fine because obviously my hair is freshly washed, but that's just a little tidbit. All right, question number 14 is how do I blow dry them and style them? So with tape and extensions, you can let them air dry, but the biggest thing is you need to make sure that the tapes are not wet. So I just always, right after I get out of the shower, I will do my hair, and I just blow dry it, and I use a round brush like this, and I just take it and round brush each section. So I'll section my hair off into 2 like this, and then I will section my hair again, and I'll like clip it up here on top of my head, and which I don't have a clip right now, so this is gonna be extremely difficult. But then I will just kind of round brush my hair like this and do each section, and then I blow dry right here where the tapes are to make sure that the tapes are not wet. And then I'll do this top section, and then I'll do the same for this side. And just one little thing, when you are using any tool, whether it's a straightener, a curling iron, a round brush, you want to make sure that when you are up close to the tapes, that you are not going directly on top. So like with the round brush, I'll kind of pull out. So this is a extension. I will put it really close to the root, but the extension's here. And I'll put it really close, but I won't put it directly on top, just because you don't want the integrity of the tape to diminish over time. So I'm just very aware of where the tapes are and that I'm not going directly on top. And that is especially true for straightening. It is so easy, especially with these under sections, just to take your straightener and like start up top and run it down. But especially when the extensions are grown out and they're not directly at your root, you want to make sure that you are not applying the heat directly to the tapes, because that will break down the adhesive. So that's how I blow dry, how I curl, how I straighten. As long as you're not directly on top, you're just like a couple inches or so away from it, you'll be totally fine. And then more along the lines of like maintenance, at night I will sleep with a silk scrunchie, and I'll put my hair in a low ponytail and put this in, and I sleep on a silk pillowcase, just so that there's no pulling or like friction on the extensions, just to again prolong the life of them and ensure that they are like properly taken care of. Okay, the last question, question 15, is how do I brush my extensions? I brush them the same way I've always brushed my hair. My absolute favorite thing ever, this is even before I had extensions, is my tangle teaser. This is so nice, especially for those of you that your hair tangles so easily. Because mine's fine and thin, it just would tangle so fast, especially like after we've been boating all day, or like I was in the wind. It was just a horrible hot mess and I hated it. So obviously using a detangler and an oil is amazing, but this brush is amazing as well. And I just start at the bottom and I'll brush at the bottom, and then you do the mid lengths, and then you do the top. I mean, obviously we all know how to brush our hair, but you don't ever want to start at the top and just go straight down and pull your hair, because that is not good for it. That will damage and break your hair. And also I find with the tangle teaser, bristles are plastic, and so they're actually super flexible, and I never have an issue with it pulling at my extensions, or you know, just like get caught on my hair. And like I'll show you. So I have extensions right up top, so this is like my weft of extension, and I can just take my tangle teaser and go right over it, and it doesn't even get caught. I highly recommend this brush. Even if you don't have extensions, this thing's amazing. And I used to be that little kid that would scream to the high heavens because it hurts so bad to brush out my hair. But with this, it's a no-brainer. All right, so that is it. We got through all the questions. Like I said in the beginning, if I missed something, if I didn't answer a question that you have like in your head, leave them down below and I will try to answer them to the best of my abilities. I just, overall, having tape-ins, it's just been the best thing ever. I had contemplated getting extensions for years. Like when I'm telling you years, I mean like at least 3 years. I had gone back and forth with my stylist. We talked about them. We'd pick some out. We talked about prices. And then I was like, no, I can't. Like I don't want to pull the trigger yet. It's just a lot of money for hair. Like at the end of the day, it's just hair, you know? So like it was really hard for me to spend that amount of money. But I always wanted long hair that was voluminous. And I knew realistically, I was never gonna get that with my type of hair. I naturally have thin, fine hair, and it would grow out, but the ends would start looking stringy and just kind of like gross. So I knew I was never gonna be able, Brandon's calling me. I knew I was never gonna be able to get this length and this volume naturally. And I just kind of had to come to terms with that. So this past fall, I kind of just made the decision. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna get extensions. And honestly, that was the best decision I've ever made, and I do not regret one single thing. Like, I do not regret it at all. Obviously, it's a hard pill to swallow at first because that price point it's hard, but it is worth every single penny, and I would do this over and over and over and over again. So if that helps you, if you've been thinking about it for a while, I would just say bite the bullet. You know, you don't know until you try it, and that was my biggest thing. So, and I really think it's life-changing. I am so much more confident, and obviously I know it's just hair, but it makes me feel more me. So yeah, that is everything that I can possibly think of to answer like all your questions about my extensions. If you're gonna do extensions, definitely go with Jay-Z Styles extensions. Follow them on Instagram. I'll have all their information in the description box below. I will also put my stylist's information in the description box. I'll like link her Instagram. That way, if you're where I live, then you can check her out and talk with her if you're interested in getting extensions. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly just am so happy to be doing this, and I love making videos for you guys. If you guys have any recommendations that you want me to do videos on, leave them down below. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.